You love to see it. The New York Knicks signed Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and that is just great. It's great because the best team in New York got Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. It's great because the more deserving team in New York got Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. The team that earned Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. The New York Knicks did not deserve those two star players. The Brooklyn Nets did. And the reason why comes down to a very important lesson in basketball and in life. That lesson is that playing your cards right is better than trying to force something to happen. Not always. Sometimes taking a leap of faith is the right move, but there are right ways to do things and wrong ways. The Knicks chose the wrong way, and fortunately, the Nets chose the right way. Let me explain why. The Nets have done a phenomenal job building one of the best cultures in the NBA. While they might not have been the best team in the league or anywhere close to it, it was very clear that every player in the league would have some interest in playing for a team like the Brooklyn Nets because of the culture, the personalities, and the locker room vibe. This sideline celebration doesn't come from a team that has bad chemistry. And I had been saying for a while now that the Nets are a great free agency destination, and I picked them as the best landing spot for Kevin Durant. On top of some solid players, a good young coach, and some great management, the Nets have a good culture. They are a team that a player would want to play for. Now let's look at the New York Knicks. Pretty much the only thing that they have in common with the Nets is they're a team in New York and they've had cap space. That was it. The Knicks won 17 games this year. In the last couple of years, they have been at the top of the lottery, drafted terribly, had a million different coaches, one of which banged Matt Barnes' wife. They had a whole fiasco with Phil Jackson and Carmelo Anthony. And with all of that, the franchise basically became the definition of poverty. But there was a silver lining. The Knicks had drafted a 7'3" power forward from Latvia. This dude was the epitome of what you want in a modern day four. Elite shooter, good ball handler, great rim protector, solid defender overall. This guy was going to be a perennial all-star in New York. So you know what they did with him? They traded him for cap space that they tried to use on Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Look where they are now. Everyone say it with me. Poverty. Again, poverty. I saw this tweet the other day, and I swear to God I laughed for a solid minute. Like, I think this says a lot about the Knicks as a whole and where they are at this point. They are furiously trying to sign and trade for Quinn Cook. That is just profoundly sad. And back to the Kristaps thing real quick, I mentioned that trade in a recent video, and a lot of people replied to that with, well, Kristaps wanted out of New York. As if that excuses anything. For one, Kristaps wanting out of New York is the Knicks' fault. The whole fiasco between Phil Jackson and Carmelo Anthony left a bad taste in Kristaps' mouth. That's why he didn't go to some big team meeting and something like that, which eventually led to trade rumors. That whole thing blew up, and that was because of the Knicks. It is the Knicks' fault, so it makes sense to blame them for Kristaps wanting to be traded in the first place. And two, if you have to trade the guy, trade him for some young assets, not cap space. And don't you even say the name Dennis Smith Jr. Dude is just a shorter Emmanuel Mudiay. They moved a franchise cornerstone for practically nothing. All they got was a good dunker and money to sign 3 power forwards. So when we compare and contrast the Nets versus the Knicks, with the Nets we see a stable franchise with great chemistry. With the Knicks we see a bag of dog shit lit on fire. Now if you're a free agent and you're looking at these two teams, which one are you choosing if they both have the same amount of money? I think that pick is kinda obvious. So back to the point of the intro. This all comes down to forcing something versus going with the flow. Or in other words, taking what the world gives you versus forcing the world to give you something. The Knicks put all their eggs in the free agency basket, and in doing so, they neglected every other aspect of running a franchise. They made no effort to put out a respectable product on the court, made dumb moves, had insane instability in the last few years, treated Carmelo Anthony like shit when he was on his way out, something I don't think gets enough credit for bringing this whole thing down. The Nets, however, with or without Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, were going in a positive direction. They had a decent young core, and they were a team that was ran the right way. While I had expressed some doubts about the future of the Nets in the last couple of months, they would have been in a far better position than the New York Knicks are now. The Nets did everything right every step of the way, and they were rewarded for it. The Knicks fucked up everything every step of the way and got $21 million a year of Julius Randle. You can't expect to be trash every step of the way and then get rewarded for it because it's New York and you have cap space, especially considering the Nets are also in New York and they had some cap space. That is the end of the video. Please be sure to check out my podcast called The Hoops Cast. Link will be in the description. Unfortunately, episode 3 got deleted, but a new episode will be out this Saturday. And like and subscribe. Cue the outro music.